Hey guys, Tuesday, October 29th, 2024. Let's see what the Black Widow wants to do today. This is a US pre-market open early in the morning. So let's see what my Elliott Wave chart is indicating. So far, this says A, B, C. Now, what's going to happen here? A couple of things. Stokes are positive. I thought it was probably going to turn and be an inverse, but it, change of contract changed things a little bit. So now the question is, do we rally? This is an average on seasonality. It's typically November 7th. It kind of turns. Also, we have October 31st for some headwinds. That's more Gann theory. And I think November 5th, if I'm not mistaken, is 180 days, I believe, from the February 20 low. But nonetheless, let's see. And we have the gap, a big gap here, and we got our high. So here is indicating a sell of 292 or a buy at 297. So, and we know 292.90 is that midpoint on the weekly, and that's your 50 or midpoint for today only. So there's a lot of resistance there if we were to push higher. And if we fail, I bet you that will fill that gap. And then if you guys been following my videos, I got that red projection line that bottoms out and then kind of stalls and then it goes down. I don't know if nat gas going to follow that, but we'll cover that on tomorrow's video. That's more the geometry and the scale chart and more of the Gann theory. This is more Elliott Wave, so I'll stick with this. Change of contract. So these are targets I have. This one's very far. I'm not going to worry about it unless we take out 296. But we're right here. Linear regression channels are pointing up. And the ellipse technique is telling you watch out for the 30th. You could give it a day to the left, a day to the right. The November 4th, which is very close to the 180 from the February 20 low. That's more Gann stuff like counting days. And you got another one. Yeah, the same thing, November 4th. So if I was to say there's a cluster with the ellipse and the Gann technique or theory of counting days from important lows, we're entering the 180th day, which that's half of a circle. If you really again this, you'll get what that means. So we're right here, and these are targets to the upside. You can say pretty much 325, and targets to the downside if it stalls and she starts dwindling lower, which would be 211, all around there in this area, this range. Realistically, let's see, anything else? I think that's it for this chart. I don't see. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you. I got my market glance, and this is, I just updated it today or this morning. So these are the cycles. Well, these are the technicals that I look at. These are the cycles. The daily is still negative, 4 hour and the 1 hour. This you have to take with a grain of salt because this looks positive because of the change of contract. So when you get this change of contract, you get this anomaly of this big jump on the chart. Things look like it's about to explode, like if it was a stock, but it could be tricky and deceptive. You probably have to kind of wait till things settle and then, I don't know, maybe a week, and then see how, price action, because the way this jump came in, a change of contract, it looks like, there's momentum to the upside, but you know how it is with futures. Seasonality is positive, but we're in that window, October, November, it gets tricky. It could probably push higher into November and then stall. But it'll probably be like a head fake. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. So it's kind of positive because we're in that window. Well, that could happen. And you can see the commitments of traders report is negative because large speculators are short. And we don't have them on our side. So they're going against us, retails that are going, or me. But I'm borderline in the middle where I think it could probably have a little more leg, but if it doesn't, it could go down and then I'll just join along. So you got a total of 9, but this kind of it gets tricky here. Probably could be less. And I had a buy signal and I put a question mark and I took it and that kind of worked out. And I just made a note that commercial are long there. So this is the Elliott Wave count. I want to see what's going to develop here this week. Remember the 31st, some headwinds, thunderstorms. It could get negative if we get up here. And we're somewhere around 283. And you got the ellipse of technique of 11.4 and 1030. 1030 warrant could be interesting for high volatility. It could go either way, but there is a gap down here. And I'm kind of feeling that if it does go down, it's probably going to fill all those gaps that we have in the bottom and just call it a day, going into November, December, if it does that. So that's that. Let's go into our normal charts and see what's cooking there. So this is our midpoint chart. As you can see, I'm using the regular one I use. This is the anomaly where things you see, look at that. It's just very weird and it looks very extreme. And you can see the weekly, daily, monthly, it's all above your midpoints, except for the yearly, which is 317. And you get this big gap. So I am going to concentrate more now on the contract itself. And then things look a little more normal. So nothing really has changed in the overnight. Let's look at the 4 hours. You can see these are closes. 4 hours negative. So this is not reflecting like what I have on the Excel chart spreadsheet that I was showing you. So this is, against what it was going at. So that's why you have to be careful. Because of this change of contract, you probably got to give it a week or two, and then you kind of let it settle in and then see what's really going on and where nat gas wants to go. So far she has been failing the 285. Can't get above there. If it's going to push lower, which it looks like it is, you got your support at the, you can say the 25 or the 75, which is 280. And if that fails, your next support will be 276. And you got your low of 271. Looking at the hourly, see, it's very quiet. Look how quiet this thing is. Look how quiet. You would think there'd be some action here, and she's in that range between 286 and kind of finding support at 283. If they go like this and then do this, your target obviously would be the low of 280. So these are your range. You could make pretend and look like this is a quadrant level and this is like your midpoint since it's like so quiet. So we'll see. Once you could say probably 6, 7, 8 things will start waking up, and just be careful for the traps. But if she's going to push higher in the US session, this would be, and she wants to really get there, this would be the target 293. And maybe stall there. Because that's your midpoint for the week and for today. But if it's going to be head fakes or it's just going to start, pressure to the downside, right, before we go into the US session. Obviously, you got 280. Then you got 274 in your last target if you're scalping. will be 267. And 267, if we were to get down there, let's see something here. It'll be 258. Oh, even more. So yeah, it's tricky, guys. It's tricky. It's one of those things. Is like, is it gonna fill it now, or it's gonna go and do its thing, and then eventually fill it, you know, in November, and fill that, and maybe sideways to lower to December. Those are those things, but you have to see price action. Today, pretty much this week, where we close this week, that's going to be the sign. All right, that's it for me. I just gave you a little bit of Elliott Wave. Tomorrow we'll go over the cycles, the natural cycles, and the other cycle projection line that I'm kind of leaning to see if that plays out, and look at some other stuff. I'll keep you posted on my thoughts on that, guys.